So the new year's here, and you've done your own form of bringing in the new year. So if you are Black, African American, you've probably made your collard greens, your black eyed peas, resisted the urge to wash your clothes the day of New Year, the actual New Year day. I've also heard about eating 12 grapes under a table, wearing red underwear. What was the other one? Running down the street with your luggage. So we've done all these things, and like these are just rituals or traditions, maybe that have been passed down from generation to generation. And we all do them with hopes of having the best year of our lives, right? The most prosperous year, the most travel filled year, to find the love of our lives that year. So you've done all these things, and now what? Do you just wait on those events to happen? Do you just wait on a random plane ticket to fall into your lap? Or do you actually have to find the place and do all the work to get to Bali? So, today we're going to be talking about what exactly you need to do to make those dreams come true in 2023. Now, you've probably also seen all those pretty vision boards online, but all the artsy stuff actually comes after setting your goals. So, really, this video is going to be about how you set goals, because when you're creating a vision board, you can't really sit down and start cutting out pictures of what you want your life to look like. You have to think about what you want your life to look like first, and then find pictures that represent that. Okay. We're not trying to construct our vision from random pictures we find in a magazine. Instead, you are seeking the pictures that fit your vision. So, in my last episode, I talked about how we're afraid of success, and we talked about expanding our definition of success from just the end product to include the entire process. But I do want to dive into that a little bit more, because what process? What are the parts of the process? There's this chart, this graph that's been out. It just says success is not a linear process, right? You don't just wake up one day to decide to do something, and then the next day you have everything you need to be successful in that thing you said you want to be successful in. There will be trial, errors, lessons, long days, short days, confusion, feelings of being a genius sometimes, and feelings of being dumb when you're just like, I literally don't even know where to start. So, that is exactly what you can expect when you're working towards your goals. That's why we can't expect New Year's rituals themselves to carry us to the end of success. It is a wish. I love this quote. So, a wish without a plan is just a dream, right? But then I took it a little further. A dream is a desire. A desire is you wanting something to happen. And none of that is action that will actually propel you. So let's take the next step to actually create the action plan to take your desire and turn it into your dream, your actual dream that you are living. I talked about how I use the 12-week year approach to setting my goals. If you have not read the book or heard of the book yet, it is a very great book. You should read it. I have it linked in the description below. But the reason I started using a 12-week year and thinking in shorter terms is because my primary goals are goals that, if I take 12 months to really look at them and achieve them, I'll be procrastinating, right? It's a very long time to work on something, and it's too long to actually maintain the momentum. At least for me, maybe some people they can work on that. But when I discovered, I guess it's so weird to say I discovered it, because it's just like, why was I not thinking like this before? But um 12-week year is what one of the tools I'll be using in this video. And then also paper and pencil. I do have an iPad to digitally plan. I just got one, and I thought, oh, I'll write in it all the time. But it's very hard for me to remember all of the things that I do write down. So it's hard for me to use it for planning processes. It's good for processing processes, if that makes sense. But writing down things really works for me. So I'll be showing you how exactly I do write these things down on my paper, because sometimes you don't want to download a digital thing. You can, or download like a PDF. You can just write it out yourself and have it on a blank piece of paper. So let's talk about how to set you up for the next 12 weeks of success. One is to set the tone and make yourself comfortable. So you want to be somewhere comfortable. I'm comfortable right now, right? So this can be with people, without people, at home, not at home, with water, with wine, with coffee, dressed up, not dressed up, whatever you want. Set the tone and make the space for it. Me personally, I like mornings because that's when I'm most alert. That's when I'm most ready to get things done. And I do prefer to kind of be in my own space so I can think without a filter. And coffee also helps me feel focused too. So set the tone, figure out what works for you. Number two is to get your paper down and write down the goals that you want to achieve in the next 12 weeks. I love acronyms. So to write down your goals, keep PAC in line. PAC, PAC. Positive, aligned, and centered around yourself. All these components are going to help you create goals that keep you motivated during the next 12 weeks. So, one, positive. You want to frame this goal as something positive that you are doing to enhance your life and that's going to point you in the right direction. You don't want to write, I will not eat junk food. It's already negative. It says not. So it's telling you what not to do. It's not telling you what to do. So you want to frame it again as something positive. So instead of I will not eat junk food, maybe I will eat at least 2 meals a day with a serving of vegetables. So now the rewording and the rephrasing and the reframing of the goal tells you more of what to do instead of what you need to stop doing, which is going to give you more clarity. Two, aligned. Make sure you set this goal for a reason. Why are you doing this? Does it align with your values, your life? What's the larger picture? How does that goal connect to that? So, for example, I want to grow my YouTube channel. So if I'm focusing on that in this 12-week period, that means I should have some type of goal that aligns with that in some kind of way, the larger picture, what I want to do. So my goal would be record one video per week. When we get into action steps, we're going to break everything down that goes into that, but it is aligned with something that I want to do. That's very easy. C, and then C is center yourself. The only thing you can really control is yourself. Setting goals around other people means that you have expectations for other people's behavior, which you cannot control at all. So, if one of your goals is to make more friends, you can't really control that you would make more friends. You just can't control that, right? It doesn't really sound like something you can do. So, one way of making more friends is connecting with more people. How can you connect with more people? Making your goal more self-centered is making you the doer. So again, what should you be doing? Clarifying your action in your role. So instead, maybe I would write attend 3 Black and Happy events and initiate 1 happy hour. Now this goal isn't too vague and it is centered around myself and my actions. What can I do? I'm going to connect with people. Maybe I'll make friends from there. What am I doing on my part? Because I can't say make more friends and then they pop up. So that's writing down all of your goals. 3 is to plan all of your action items around the goals. So in the last video, I talked about brainstorming and writing down every little thing that comes to your brain. What do you need to do to achieve this goal? So I want to use the example of record 1 video per week. And I want to break that down and all the action steps I need to do for that. So I immediately thought about time. When am I going to record? When am I going to plan the videos? When am I going to do research? When am I going to post, etc.? So I need to start writing down those things. Start brainstorming some ideas for that. Next, I'm thinking, where will I record? I need to create a space in my house somewhere where I'm going to record my video. Make sure I'm satisfied with the lighting. Make sure I'm doing it at the right time of the day. Make sure that there's no noise outside when I'm doing it. And I think about the description box because like when I'm looking in other YouTubers' description boxes, they have things in there and it seems like a generic description that they copy and paste. So maybe I need to create that so I can just copy and paste it into everything, every YouTube video I do with all my social media links, any affiliate links I may have, etc. And then I think about everything that I need to record. Do I have everything that I need with me? Do I have my technology charged? Do I have all my notes? So all those action items are written down. And I think about what exactly I need to do. After writing all your to-dos down, organize your bullet points and assign a due date to them. So the ultimate goal is that by the end of these 12 weeks, you would have achieved this goal. So in terms of my YouTube video, this is more so of me creating a routine, a weekly rhythm to get those videos recorded. So I would organize them. Mondays I do this, Tuesdays I do this, Wednesdays I do this, Saturdays, Sundays, etc. I do this. So whatever those milestones are that you need to hit within those 12 weeks to achieve your goal, you set them. It could be a reoccurring thing every week, like the YouTube, or it can be you by the end of week 3, I'm going to have my YouTube name or something. I don't know, because clearly I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel, so I can't really tell you what to do. So after that, I'll add them to my calendar. So I recently got this really big wall calendar that I'm really excited about. So I've been putting things on there, but I use all calendars. If I'm being honest, I use paper calendars and digital calendars. I mean, electronic calendars, because sometimes I do like to have the reminders on my phone. Sometimes there are things that I just need to see and write down and connect my brain to, just knowing I need to do this. So whatever calendar system works for you, put them on the calendar so you can see them. At the end of each week, you should do a type of reflection, right? So how many of your intended action items did you complete? And you can complete a completion. You can calculate a completion percentage. You want to just see, am I doing these things, to actually hold yourself accountable. Accountability group really works best, but if you don't have that, you look at these percentages to help you. And then at the end of the 12 weeks, you should be done with your goals. And now it's time to reflect. So I'm going to start my next 12-week cycle on January 15th. You are more than welcome to start with me. And then at the end, I'll come back, and at the end of the 12 weeks, I'll come back and tell you guys how I did with that. And I'll also provide some midpoint updates if you would like it. So in addition to everything you did on New Year's Eve to bring in the new year, you should do these things to set your goals so that you can go on that travel destination that you want, or meet all the people that you want to meet to enhance your social life. So I look forward to it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.